blood dries in my veins and my heart feels no more pain.
This is Callum from SFPaintballUK, and today we're going to be helping you choose your first gun. It's a very important step, but there's two things you need to consider before even looking at guns. First one is, do you want to go down the line of scenario/woodsball markers, or do you want to go down the line of tournament markers? Now, we've got examples of both sitting here today. The first one you've seen is the X7 Phenom to my customisation. The second one here is a Proto SLG, and the third one is the Project Salvo, made by Tipman, but it's a co-company called US Army. I'll give you more information on them and a couple of other markers. The first one we're going to go into is the 98 Custom. Most common marker you'll see. A lot of sites use them as rentals, and basically they go more along the woodsball line. They're very customisable, as is a trait with a lot of scenario markers. If you want a gun that you can customise and make look your own and make it completely unique, change the internals, change the externals, make it more cosmetically appealing, then it's woodsball you want to go down the line of. It's more military simulation. The tournament markers, such as the Proto here, they're for a quicker style of play, closer range. They've not got as good accuracy at long distance, but at close range they are fantastic. They use double triggers a lot of the time, which have very small pulls on them, fire very quickly, using two fingers as such. I'm not perfectly quick because I use woodsball markers, and I'm not used to it at all. These are not very customisable. Yeah, you can get different barrels, but they are very expensive. We've got a spare one sitting here that's not set up. It's the die boomstick, and is probably about 180 quid new. Now, I'm not certain on that because it's not my marker and it's not my barrel. However, that's what I've been told. The Protos and a lot of other tournament markers are very light, very durable, but you do have to, after most games, take, and I'm not sure if this is a trait. I'm not sure if this is a trait with all tournament style markers, but you have to take the bolt out and grease it right along here. Grease the O-rings, and this bit slides out as well. So that's after basically every time you play, every 2,000 sort of paintballs ish. But they've got a style of play that the woodsball ones don't. The woodsball ones can be set up to one shot, one kill. If you can get it accurate enough and you're good enough, it will hit every time. One shot, one kill, one burst. The tournament markers are mainly designed with that double trigger to fire quicker as a pray and spray. The amount you can fire off a lot of paintballs very quickly, and your chances of hitting are higher, but at the cost of accuracy and at the cost of paintballs. Secondly, we'll go on to the Project Salvo, which is the gun I chose as my first marker. Very simple. We've got a review of it on the site. Very customisable. Weaver rails along the sides. You're either looking for Weaver rails or Picatinny rails. That allows you to add scopes, grips like I have, bipods, the works. You can change the barrels as well. Just twist it, pull it out. Different hoppers. This one you can change to a cyclone feed system just by taking this off, changing a couple other little bits, and you've got a cyclone feed system that will feed 15 balls per second. As far as I'm aware, you're not able to change the trigger on this. However, you can get electronic triggers which will do fully automatic 3-round burst, the works. It's a trait among woodsball markers, especially Tipman, that you can get upgrades like that. Some of them come with it, some of them don't. Most of them don't, to be honest. as far as I'm aware, only the X7 Phenom sitting there comes with the fully automatic built in basically. We, on the other side of that, Tippmann do a Griffin, which is more tournament styled, more tournament based. We'll go into prices at the end, so don't worry about that too much. You might be able to get it cheaper, it might be slightly more expensive depending on where you are and where you buy from. If you're able to get, if you want to go down the tournament style line, you've got the Griffin there as a good starting point. And it's not electronic markers like most of them are. Electronic meaning you need batteries to operate it. It's semi-automatic. It's got a double trigger on it. Sort of, it'll do your paint spray, provided you've got enough paint to go through it. They are gravity fed, meaning you might, if you're pulling the trigger too fast for the gravity to feed the paintballs in, then it won't be firing any paint. But you can get rotary hoppers that act as a cyclone and will help feed into the gravity hoppers. We're going to go on to the A5 next, which is it's very common. If you see someone with their own gun, chances are they've probably had an A5, or they've got one with them, or they own one at home, whatever. They are very common because they are customizable, they're woods ball, you can do whatever you want with it basically. It's very reliable. Tippmann are a very reliable company. So an A5, slightly more expensive than the 98 Custom, which is basically, so a lot of people will go for the 98 Custom if they're looking for a cheap, reliable gun. If you've got a little bit more money, 40 quid or so, you can go on to the A5, get that, it'll do your job perfectly. It's got cyclone built in, barrel's changeable. As far as I know, it doesn't actually have any weaver rail, but you can get shrouds and stuff that have weaver rail. There are parts and stuff you can change on it. You can change the internals and whatnot. You can make it electronic trigger. You can also get something called a response trigger, which I believe works off the kick of the gun. If the kick is good enough, you hold the trigger in the right position, it will basically become fully automatic. It's not an electric marker, so it's not actually classed as fully automatic because your finger still moves ever so slightly, which fires it. So yeah, that's a very good one. I mean, then we go on to a more advanced gun, my one, Phenom. I moved on to the Phenom from my Salvo there, and as you can see, I've done a lot of work to it. It's not even standard anymore. I've got grip, I've got a brand new barrel on it, I've got a bipod, different magazine on it, scope, air through stock. If you do want to get an air through stock, you've got to have a remote line that clips into there. That's where the air goes through, and basically the air will sit just behind your hand there. You can play perfectly fine with it. And there you go, Tippmann do a Commando air through stock, which the remote line connection comes out the back here. This one is actually from Wrap 4. If you do get it, be wary because you might have problems with air leaks inside the system. But if you do have air leaks and problems with that, contact me and I'll be able to help you out with that. Might be able to tell you what to do and stuff. Personally, I'm still actually having problems. We've just replaced the O-rings, it still needs tested. We've not got any air at the moment to go out and test any of the guns and show you how they fire, which is unfortunate. Another thing I've done with this is the double trigger there, which a lot of the tournament style markers have, and it'll allow you to pre and spray, fire as quick as you can. It comes with lighter trigger springs, so yeah, as quick as you can pull the trigger, it will fire. So prices. this is the important part about starting to get your own marker. You've got to know what you want to do with the gun, and how much you're willing to spend. If you're looking for a gun that you don't actually have to customise, all of them will play perfectly out of the box, but there are adjustments you can do to make it more stylish, more to your style. I used to use a sniper setup, which is why I've got a bipod. I have an extended barrel here for the Salvo foregrip. So, and the sight. With the Paintball Markers, however you want to play, you can customise the gun to that style. As I was saying, prices, you're looking for a 98 custom, you're looking between 80 and £120. 120 will get you the Platinum series, which is probably the best one. It's got an anti-chop technology inside it. Very nice, very good. It will stop balls getting chopped in half, basically. The Griffin, you're looking at £80. The Salvo is about £130. The reason I got it first, the 98 custom, the A5, they're the boring obvious choice. The Salvo is a good gun to start with. It's in the middle of price range between the A5 and the 98 custom. As I was saying, the A5 without a response trigger as standard is probably about £160, 180. The Proto SLG there that we were talking about, you're probably looking at £150 to £200, depending on where you get it from. Roughly about 180. The Phenom as standard, without any of the attachments you've seen on it, you're looking at 325. It is not a good choice for a first gun. Your first gun is basically you getting started, you're getting experienced, and you're looking to try and expand your knowledge before moving on to a more advanced gun that costs a lot more. So if you're looking to go down the tournament line, start out with a Griffin. I know someone who started out with the Griffin and then went on to get that Proto you've seen. Brilliant gun. If you want to start out on Woodsball, you can get 98 custom, you can get Sierra 1 / Project Salvo. I would actually suggest the Salvo because it is more original than the rest. You won't see them around very often. They're not very common. So it's a good choice to go for. I mean, the serial number on this one is, what, 280,000 basically. So there is quite a few of them around, but not many over in the UK. I haven't personally never seen one being used at any events I've been to. Whereas at events you will see a lot of 98 customs that have been customised, and you will see a lot of A5s. But as I've said, there's your choices that I would recommend. You do have other manufacturers like Empire do some BT Combat 4 markers, a bit more expensive, and to be honest, we don't know much about them. We've never used one, never even seen one in person, so I can't go into comment on them. But I'm sure you're very busy people. I mean, I know I'm going to get a bollocking later, considering my girlfriend's mum has just found out that we've been a bit closer lately. So, yeah, I'm going to leave you and hopefully not get newt-hunt by the end of the day. So, have fun.